show. Well, we're talking about a tech talk right now on modernizing VDI with Google Cloud. And we have with us Swarraj Kulkarni, CTO MediaAgility, joining us. Well, Swarraj has over 27 years of IT industry experience. As the Chief Technology Officer of MediaAgility, Swarraj is passionate about increasing the existing technology foundation of the company, building additional capabilities, engaging with the clients and partners at Google Cloud, and achieving incremental milestones for MediaAgility and their clients. Well, he'll be discussing on how cloud-based modern VDI solutions simplify the complications caused by legacy VDIs and enable a secure, scalable, and productive remote workforce. So thank you so much, Swarraj, for joining us on the World Cloud Show. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Bhavna, and hello and good afternoon to all of you. First of all, thank you very much to the World Cloud Show team for arranging this event at a very appropriate time and inviting me to be part of this eminent group. Thank you. So let me share my screen while I speak. That will become easy for me to share my thoughts. And I hope you all are able to see my screen. Bhavna, can you please confirm?
Yes, we can. We can, Swarraj.
Okay, great. Okay. So look, what we are witnessing today across the globe is unprecedented. Enough has been talked about impacts of this pandemic across the globe, but if we want to find out only one positive thing out of this situation, then that would be an accelerated pace of digital transformation. Along with maintaining the top line and bottom line of the business while driving these digital initiatives, all of the businesses or most of the businesses are concerned and focused on maintaining the well-being of their employees. Keeping track of their health and safety is on everybody's mind. And I believe in that context, the next 13 to 14 minutes of the discussion, what I will be having from my side, will give us a broader perspective and help me set the point of view with respect to how the Google Cloud and our partner Itopia and MediaAgility all can come together and help businesses create a infrastructure or the virtual desktop infrastructure that can effectively manage the global remote workforce effectively, efficiently, and securely. Just 30 seconds view of who we are. MediaAgility is a global digital consultancy. We are based out of Princeton, New Jersey, but we have presence in India, US, UK, and Mexico. We are Google's global Google Cloud Premier Partner with 6 specializations across the application development and machine learning and data and so on and so forth. Also, we are 300 plus Google certified cloud architects and engineers team, and we work together to help our clients on their digital initiatives and digital programs. And virtual desktop infrastructure is one of the focus areas for us, especially in the APAC and India market, considering the pandemic situation and helping our clients and our prospects to seamlessly transition from this difficult time into the new normal. So what I'm going to talk about is the need of the new normal in the context of the infrastructure requirements, why we need a cloud-based virtual desktop infrastructure solution, and what are the challenges we see in a traditional legacy VDI solution. And while I talk about what is the future, there has to be a roadmap. So I will briefly touch about what that roadmap will look like. And obviously, considering the 15 minutes time, things will become a little difficult for me to get into the depth, but I'm more than happy to have an offline conversation with you all, either through email or on the telephone. So bear with me with my speed. So just to set the context where the global remote workforce is at the moment, and obviously though this study by Gartner was carried out in March 2020, and in the pandemic time, things are changing almost every day and every hour. But just to give you high-level critical numbers, when they did this market research in March 20, they found that almost 88% of the organizations have encouraged or asked their employees to work remotely. 74% of the CFOs and the management, they felt that they should continue working remotely after the COVID pandemic, and their intention was to save the real estate cost of the office. But at the same time, 54% management or the companies realized that though they are asking their employees to work remotely, from the overall productivity perspective, from the effectiveness perspective, they do not have a reliable infrastructure in place. And the poor technology and infrastructure are the real barriers to have that seamless transition from in-office to the remote workforce. So you can see here, there is a need that is remote workforce requirement. There is an opportunity of saving the cost from the management perspective, that is 74%, and there is a challenge that there is almost no infrastructure, especially the virtual desktop infrastructure where remote workforce needs to access the Microsoft and Windows desktops and their applications. Now, why we are saying that there is no infrastructure, and the typical challenges what we see in a legacy VDI solution is very difficult to manage because we need a secure infrastructure, we need a scalable infrastructure, and we need a cost-effective infrastructure. Secure in terms of the access, secure in terms of maintaining the data beyond the firewalls, scalable because it requires to be multi-global, multi-geography, workforce is distributed remotely, and it has to be cost-effective. What we need today is a pay-per-use model of this infrastructure so that we can work remotely at a bare minimum cost to manage that infrastructure and give a superior experience. Today's VDI solutions are costly in terms of the infrastructure, VDI software stack, integration, and operations. They are relatively complex. Almost every VDI solution sitting on premise requires a highly trained IT administrator. Patching and upgrading requires downtime. It requires communication that this downtime or this patching is happening at a given time and you need to log off or you need to experience delays, and that results into a poor experience, disconnected experience, poor performance, and that creates an opportunity for a cloud-based VDI solution. So how can we think of a solution that can address few of the bottlenecks I just talked about, a solution that sits on a secure, reliable, and scalable infrastructure like Google Cloud, has all necessary VDI capabilities that includes the RDS, desktop and image management, create a security environment, manage the boundaries around your application and infrastructure, and so on and so forth. Across the devices that should provide a seamless experience across the different device form factors. As far as we have internet connected device, we should be able to log in into my desktop or my application and carry out my day-to-day life job. It should be simple to manage. No need for high-end training for my system administrators. It has to be cost effective. Since being on the cloud, you should have all the advantages of cloud with respect to scaling out, scaling up, depending upon need, pay-per-use, and as the cost of the cloud day by day is going down, my solution should also help me managing the cost depending upon whether my employees are returning to office in shifts or once or twice in a week going forward. as part of being in the normal of new scenarios and the new environments. So dear all, I'm talking about enterprise-grade VDI solution on the Google Cloud by our partners, Itopia. Itopia orchestrates the Microsoft remote desktop service on the Google Cloud infrastructure, and it creates a secure and remote desktop and applications on any device. So essentially what Itopia does, it creates the Google Cloud-based virtual environments and have the Microsoft remote desktop services provisioned on those virtual machines, creates the security infrastructure, orchestrates that infrastructure for offering remote desktop and applications experience on the devices which users are comfortable using remotely. This solution is fast in the sense that it literally takes only hours or days to adopt, deploy, and operationalize the solution. The entire VDI solution can be operationalized for the companies of different user base size literally in days. It is simple in the sense that, as I have been saying, you don't need a highly trained IT system administrator, a simple system administrator with a good understanding of the VDI infrastructure and cloud can deploy this infrastructure in a multi-regional environments. Global deployment can happen within just hours or days. Itopia is flexible in terms of either extending your Active Directory infrastructure from on-premise, or it can help creating the Active Directory on the cloud in a Google managed services way. It's flexible in creating your customized images, and those customized images and the applications included can be provisioned and deployed in a very easier way. It is efficient. Almost 300 plus IT service management activities and tasks can be carried out by using a simple browser-based console. Administrator can manage the Google Cloud infrastructure, go up, go down with respect to managing the cost and managing the resources. And Itopia brings in the security, as most of the security vulnerability issues are happening with respect to the data and access. Itopia maintains the data on the Google Cloud itself. So the security perimeters and security boundaries that Google brings for any and every organization are equally applicable to this solution. The data sits within the Google Cloud environment and nothing goes on to the individual devices. So in a nutshell, if a remote employee wants to log into the environment, the workflow looks very simple. It's a one-click experience for the user, wherein either through the browser or depending upon what device they have, they can use the RDP client. There is a unique URL. Unique URL is because Itopia can also help you have multi-geography cloud-based deployment. So wherever you are located, you can have a near cloud access to your environment. So you require a unique URL to get to closest and nearest data center. So you can just click on that URL and you have a single click or one-click login experience to get into the Google Cloud RDS, from where you can have your Windows desktop or Windows application for your use. And I mentioned about the console. The console is a simple browser application. It is a web app from where administrator can manage the users, administrator can manage the Google workloads, and can create analytical reports and charts to make sure that your cost is managed almost regularly depending upon your usage, and the cost is managed, maintained in a very systematic way. Again, there are multiple capabilities for any of such VDI solutions we see in a cloud-based environment. I briefly talked about few of the capabilities, but there is a list of the features and capabilities we can have from this Itopia solution. I talked about console, I talked about custom image, identity and access management is again as part of the security important feature. Dynamic and scheduled virtual machines for maintaining your cost, and many other features which you have as part of the Google Cloud infrastructure can be very simply orchestrated and managed through that console and can be utilized for our regular business use. Itopia adoption roadmap is relatively very simple. As I said, it takes literally hours or days to be onboarded in this environment. Typical roadmap looks like what kind of applications we want to provision for the VDI usage, what kind of user base we have, what geographical presence they have. Then we need to create the environment setup that includes the Itopia in basic infrastructure, then manage, create the VMs, and then you go towards the Active Directory, depending upon whether you want to extend your Active Directory or create the Active Directory on the cloud. You define your security parameters, security controls, and the last but not least is scale and configure your users in such a way that you effectively use the infrastructure and manage the cost. And we being the partner for Itopia, obviously, as I said, we are Google Cloud premier partner. So our role in such journey is not just the Itopia, but we can also help our clients and prospects on adopting the cloud, moving their business applications on the cloud. We can help in creating the security infrastructures. When it comes to the Itopia, we can deploy, we can train, we can carry out the change management and help remote workforce getting on this infrastructure pretty fast. So that is what I wanted to talk in 10 to 12 minutes of my time, and I will take a pause. I would be more than happy to have any questions in this session, or if you want to connect with us offline. My email address is swarraj.kulkarni@mediaagility.com, or you can reach out to us at sales@mediaagility.com. So Bhavna, over to you.
Yes, thank you so much, Swarraj. What a brilliant way of you introducing all about media agility, and thank you so much for your time and being a part of the World Cloud Show. Well, right now, currently from the audience, we do not have any questions, but I'm sure that whatever you've presented has given them more and much above that. And thank you for once again being a part of the World Cloud Show.
Thank you very much, and I wish everybody be safe, healthy, be at home. And next year, hopefully, we will have the World Cloud Show in person, and I would be more than happy to join in there.
Sure, absolutely, Swarraj. We will, keep a note of that. And thank you once again, Swarraj. Thank you.
Thank you very much, all. Thank you. Bye.
So ladies and gentlemen, with this, we are now going to be viewing one of our sponsor/partner videos, and then we'll move on to our next session. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.